Okay. So, hello, governor. Oh, wow. I have a lot of space above my head. Am I able to? So that's not what that does. That's not at all what I want. Let me do this on camera. Filters. Is this how I crop? Crop, crop, top. Can I get like 200 off? No, that's way too much. Like 100? Let's go like 75, 20 on the left, 20 on the right. And the bottom's like whatever. Um, yeah, I think I look fine then. Cool. Um, oh, I feel like I look so small. I don't care to do this right now. I really don't care. Okay, so every year I rank the games I play during that year. Last year, I don't think I recorded my video until like April or something like that. I don't know. I just rank the games I played. Some of these games on this list shouldn't even be here because I don't really think I like played that much, but like I still want to put them on the list. And there are some games that like I played, but I don't have on this list. And I don't really have exact criteria. If I want to talk about them or I want to put them on the list, I'm going to put them on the list. If I don't want to put them on the list, I don't put them on the list. And I just rate them S through D. There's nothing special. I just like to talk about them. I'm feeling a little sick. I went to McDonald's about 6 days ago. I had been saving up gift cards. So I finally went to McDonald's for the first time in like 4 or 5 years. I got a coffee, I froze it, and then also in the middle, I went to Starbucks with gift cards. I got $40 worth of gift cards from Starbucks for Christmas. Crazy. Um, and they had this like iced matcha drink, but it was like Dubai chocolate. Not matcha. Okay, they do have an iced Dubai matcha, but that's not what I got. I got the iced chocolate mocha Dubai. It was fine. I mixed the two of them. That's what I'm having to drink right now. I had frozen both of them, I want to say 2 days ago, or maybe yesterday I froze them. The Starbucks drink had already been frozen. I froze the Starbucks either yesterday or 2 days ago. Whatever. Let's talk about the games I played. The order I go in's whatever. I feel like some of the icons look weird simply because I didn't feel like getting specific icons for all the games, so that's how they look. Also, my cat is annoying me. Do not eat the cables. No. Because feeding time is in an hour and a half, and now he's back on getting no. So he's gonna annoy me the whole time because he's hungry, even though I gave him catnip about 30 minutes ago, maybe more like 40, whatever. So he's gonna be here to annoy me as well. First game I have on my list is Dead by Daylight. Um, do I have an icon for it? There it is. D tier. I played like no Dead by Daylight this year. I feel like every year I put Dead by Daylight on this list, and it truly is because like there comes a point during the year where I do play it for a couple months, and I just don't know if Dead by Daylight had that this year. And also, it's just getting more difficult to enjoy Dead by Daylight as the years go on and the content they add and produce. It's just getting harder and harder to like enjoy my time with it really, and the characters they're adding, and I'm sick of licenses. I'm sick. Create original content. That's what I really liked about Dead by Daylight, and I feel like I don't get that as much anymore, and that's really irritating to me as somebody who really like I liked it when they did like licenses every now and again, and then mostly did original content. I kind of like that more, and then it's almost all entirely not their own content, and that's just really disappointing. So Dead by Daylight's going in D tier. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been since I would say Dead by Daylight was a good game and I really enjoyed it and I played it regularly. Let me open up my Steam. When was the last time I played Dead by Daylight? I don't have it downloaded, so that's why it's not showing up. Oh, you know what game? July. July was last time I played it. You know what game isn't on this list? Marvel Rivals. Did that come out this year? Oh my god, I don't have Marvel Rivals on this list. If I would put it anywhere, I'd put it like C or D tier. I think the real reason Marvel Rivals isn't on this list is because it's so difficult to be like, when can you talk about online game in a list? It's more true for my list. It used to be, because I used to feel like if I didn't finish a game or attempted to play it enough, I wouldn't put it on the list. That's not true anymore. But an online game is so difficult, because how much of an online game do you have to play to put it on the like, to say you have a good enough way to like rank it or give it a rating? Like Valorant isn't on this list, and I barely played Valorant this year, but like I did play it, so why can't I put it on the list? Whatever. Marvel Rivals would go in C or D tier. I didn't really enjoy it. I don't really like Marvel content. But like I didn't play enough of it. I don't know how much I would really enjoy it. I don't know. Maybe I'd like it a lot, like with modding the models. The next game on the list is Overwatch S tier. I freaking love Overwatch. I have so much fun playing Overwatch. Also, I just have it. I have a spreadsheet. I track all my games, and I also put like, I'll write down some thoughts I have with the game. So I did a quick thing with Overwatch where I just said perks. They added perks this year, which I think is true, unless I'm wrong. I love perks. Loot boxes are back, which I don't love. I'm glad you can't spend money on loot boxes. I wasn't a huge player of Overwatch 1. I barely played it on my PS4. I would literally play it on the weekends at my dad's. I would stream Spotify from the PS4 like Spotify app. I'd plug in my headphones to my PS4 controller then. And I would play Overwatch on my PS4, but all I would do really is I would play deathmatch. Like there were times where I would play deathmatch. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep playing deathmatch, and I have to go in order of all the heroes, and the only time I can swap is when I ult. And I think sometimes I did when I ult and get a kill as well. So like I used to play a lot of Overwatch 1, so I didn't play a lot of Overwatch 1. I didn't put any money into it as well besides buying the game, and even then, like I did not get into Overwatch 1 early in its lifetime. But I do remember like reading, because that would have been around the time I was on Reddit as a kid, and I remember reading a lot about like loot boxes and like how kind of fucked it up that is, kids spending parents' money for gambling. Oh wait, we're not really having that conversation as much anymore, but that was the same conversation about like Genshin Impact, and that's kind of the same conversation that was happening with Fortnite, a little bit less, but it still kind of is like around the same category of things. I remember what I was gonna say and then I forgot it. So the loot boxes kind of suck, but at least now loot boxes you can't spend money on unless you're in China. But China has other, like they have their own launcher and everything, so I don't live that life, you know. But also they haven't updated loot boxes in a while, so they kind of suck. And it's kind of fun to get them, but it's like whatever. To me, the loot boxes feel like such a whatever. It's almost like the souvenirs. It's like a, okay, whatever. They added Stadium, which I love as well. I love just being able to play Stadium and like kind of take it seriously, but not as seriously as competitive. So I really do enjoy Stadium. Freya, I think, is fine. They also added hero bans and map select. I'm not really upset at bans. I think map select does feel a little weird in quick play, but I don't play quick play enough to really care. And in competitive, you can sometimes get too much of the same maps, but I don't necessarily mind it in like higher ranks. Like when I'm like off rolling on DPS, or playing quick play the few times I do, or play on my alt, which is just obviously a lower rank because I don't play it as much, and I'm usually drunk or fucking around. But lower ranks, I feel like I'm seeing so much like payload, and I'm like, ugh, slop. But then when I'm in high ranks, I feel like I'm seeing so much more like flashpoint and push. And I really do like that. Control a little bit as well, but I don't know. I think control is probably even. So I at least like that. At least what I'm experiencing is a lot of flashpoint, which I really do love flashpoint. Wu Yang, I really love Wu Yang. Wu Yang actually like, gave me another hero that I can physically play. So I like that. And then Vendetta is like a whatever burger. I haven't played enough of the recent season. Um, I was sick for like 3 weeks. Like this video probably would have came out 3 weeks to a month ago if I wasn't sick. Probably. I don't know if that's true, but I got influenza and then the flu and an ear infection. So I haven't really played enough with Vendetta, and when I do play comp, Vendetta usually gets banned, so I haven't really engaged with her. But I mean, I enjoyed Overwatch so much this year. It's not so much the game as well. I just have a lot of friends who play it, so it's nice to have like a community to play it. And I feel like sometimes the community of Overwatch can be very toxic. I feel like there is also a community which is very nice and loving, and I do enjoy that. Next I have on my list is Tetris Effect. I didn't play a lot of Tetris Effect this year in general. The order of games I'm going is the order I put them into my list. So right now we're gonna get some older games. I played Tetris Effect a little bit earlier this year. It's Tetris. I fucking love Tetris. I love Tetris 99. I love Puyo Puyo Tetris. I love Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I love Tetris Effect Connected, I guess. It's Tetris. I freaking love Tetris. I still feel like I don't play so much of it, but I do feel like I'm still learning how to play it on keyboard. I got really good at like Puyo Puyo Tetris and Tetris 99, so that was with like Switch controls. So I'm still kind of learning keyboard controls, but I mean, it's Tetris. I freaking love Tetris. I just can't play a lot of it because Tetris brain, like you'll close your eyes and see the blocks moving down and whatnot. Like I was having that when I was playing a lot of Tetris, and I had to stop because it doesn't feel good. Like just to think of the blocks. It was kind of like how around the time COVID started, I played Flow Free. You know that like game where like you have to connect the dots on a board and they can't intersect. I think I did have that on my list one of these years when I did one of these videos. Also, I totally forgot. I got a bunch of comments on my last one. Not a bunch. I think maybe 2 or 3 of people just being a little bit mean about my wall being dirty. I did it in a public space. Sorry that they didn't clean the walls. It's also a literal whiteboard behind me. But also people just being like, I'm confused. Is this just the video of the game? Like these games didn't come out this year. Yeah, this is the games I played. Whatever. I forgot to talk about that. I don't care anymore. Whatever. It's Tetris. Flow Free, whatever. Next game, Backpack Battles. I played a lot more Backpack Battles last year. I played it a little bit at the beginning of this year, and then it just kind of fell off for me. But like, what did I rank it last year? I want to see what I ranked it last year. Okay, 2 things. Wow, there's a lot less games last year. Wait, did I say 2 things or first of all 2? I don't remember. Anyways, I had a lot less games last year, and I ranked it B. I'm gonna put it in A. Oh, hi, kitty. Yeah, I'm not gonna feed you. No. I put it in B. I'm gonna put it A only because I do have really good memories of it. There were some issues, but like I enjoyed my time with it. But I don't know. I'm gonna put it in A. I didn't really play it a lot this year. I don't have any more feelings. If you wanted to see me talk about more last year, I'm sure I talked more about it last year. I did not realize Once Upon a Galaxy came out last year. I'm sorry about these icons. I don't care. This is what you're getting, sister. But Once Upon a Galaxy, it's a spiritual successor to Storybook Brawl, which was an auto battler on Steam that went down because they got bought out by Cryptocurrency Bros and NFT Bros. NFT Bros specifically because they were going to do FTs in the game, and that's why I dropped it. And then they went on business. And Storybook Brawl, I don't know if there's any devs, but I'm pretty sure some of the artists from Storybook Brawl are on Once Upon a Galaxy. It's just a really fun mobile auto battler. Most games take 10 minutes or less. It's really fun. They do a monthly battle pass. It's $10. You really don't need to spend that much money. Yeah, I don't have any notes for it. It's really fun. I play a lot. Okay, for some reason my headphones turned off. Whatever. Um, really don't know why that happened. I really don't remember what I was talking about. Once Upon a Galaxy, I loved it. I love it. I play it pretty constantly. I also have it on Steam. I probably have like 30 hours on Steam. I do wonder how many hours I actually do have that on Steam. 35.2. That makes sense. I'll just load it up, put a game on my other monitor or a YouTube video. It's amazing. I love it. I put a lot of time into it. It's pretty freaking good. Next game I have is Stardew. And my notes on Stardew, I have playing a lot of mods, finally kind of get into it, but then Overwatch really took over, plus Hunter Line came out, and Burnout, I guess. Oh, Finals as well. Not sure I'll be coming back. Um, Stardew Valley is a really interesting game for me. I bought it on Steam. I've bought it on my Switch. I've probably tried to play this game like 10 times. And I just don't know what it is. A part of the aspect is that you are on a timer, quote unquote, but like the timer is like per day, but then the next day is always going to come. There's no real time limit you have besides your own time in real life and how much time you're willing to give to Stardew Valley. Like if you miss a scene that you can only see in winter, winter is gonna come again. You're gonna be able to see that scene. If anything, just more things unlock over time. But I always feel so constrained by the time limit. Um, and then Stardew Valley is also an issue I have of games of Wikipediaing it. I wouldn't describe it that way. It's more like my issue with Stardew Valley is that I feel like if you don't have like a Wikipedia page open, or how does my shirt look in this? I don't know how much I'm living for it. Who cares? Who freaking cares? Where I feel like if I'm not utilizing online sources, I'm not utilizing my time in real life as well and the time in the game as well. Do not eat the cords. No. He's like chewing on them, and that's a big deal because not only could he get hurt, I could have to buy more cords, and that freaking sucks. You're not allowed to do that. So I feel like I'm not utilizing my time well, but then I feel like because I'm just looking online all the time, I'm not having enjoyment of it. And I also wasn't sure how much I enjoyed Stardew Valley, but I wouldn't say like around February, January, um, probably like April, a little bit January, February, March, April. I played a little bit of Stardew. I played with mods, and I really did enjoy it. I don't know if I even got to year 2, but I did really enjoy my time. Like, it was a lot better, but I've never really enjoyed time with Stardew Valley. And I do have prior experiences with it, which do have me have it's not a sour taste in my mouth. It's more just like I don't know my opinions on Stardew Valley. I really don't know my opinions on it. So it's gonna go in B tier. It's like fine. It's like fine. I have better. It's like the pinnacle of farming simulators. I have 2 more farming simulators to talk about. So it's like fine. It's like fine. It's like whatever. Come at me, all you Stardew Valley fans. Buckshot Roulette. I tried the game. I didn't like it. What can I say? I don't know. I didn't beat it. I didn't play that much. I'm like, I'm bored. I didn't love it. What can I say? I literally don't remember it. I just didn't love it. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I really don't know where to place this game. This is the first game that I'm not sure where I want to put it. I played a lot during winter break, and I really enjoyed it because like Assassin's Creed, I think, is the pinnacle of this issue of an open world game where so much of it is just fucking nothing, and then little random places have like go here to do this, go here to do this, go here to do this. And I sometimes really like that. And sometimes I really fucking hate it. And I didn't mind it in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I didn't mind it. I will say I hate boat mechanics. I hate boat fighting. I hate having to drive a big ship, not boat, ship. The ship, ships. I don't really love the whole ship mechanic. So I didn't love that. But the combat was fine. Like everything else about it was good. Like it was a good game, but I didn't like the ship stuff and the boat stuff and the fact that there's like premium currency in a 1 player game and the fact you always have to be online. I don't know. I didn't love that aspect of it, but like it was fine. It was good. It wasn't fine. It was good. And then school got in the way, so I didn't play too much of it. I enjoyed what I played. It was like fine. It was like good. I'm gonna put it in A. I mean, it's better than Stardew Valley. I think Backpack Battles, I'm having a little bit of issues actually saying how I feel about that game. So I'm going to put you down. I guess you're going to be an A. That's crazy to think I'm giving Assassin's Creed Odyssey an A. That feels a little crazy, but I don't really care enough. So congrats, you get an A. The root trees are dead. Oh, you're gonna go an A. So okay, so the root trees are dead is kind of like a detective game a little bit, where you're basically like the root trees are like this famous family. I think I played this game in like February or March. Again, we're really early in the year. I don't have a great memory. Um and they're asking, like, somebody's hiring you to basically like fill out their entire family tree. It's very a la Return of the Obra Dinn, in terms of you have to, for every person, you have to give them a name. You have to have at least one picture of them. You have to put them in the correct place of the family tree. The family tree's already made out, but like it's blank mostly. So you have to put their correct person, their correct face, and their profession. And every time you have three people correct, it tells you these three are correct and then like marks them. But the way you find out like who is that, first of all, the person like who's hired you comes back every now and again to give you some more information. But also then you have your computer and you're just having to like look up like tag words, keywords, find like periodicals, magazines, look through those. Oh, you see a name here, look that name up. Oh, there's a random band mentioned here, look up this band. Oh, this root tree was actually in this band. um and the whole game, or at least the first part, maybe even less is about it, but in my mind it really is about it, is that you're kind of trying to find out like there's a secret family member that like, 'cause I think like the root trees are dead. I don't know if like a lot of people died or if just one person died and now they're like trying to organize the will. I don't remember the larger plot line, but like the part one, you kind of like end it like be like, oh my god, there is this other person who's here that like nobody really knew that they were a root tree. So now there's like arguability of them, like should they be getting part of the money? And that was like, oh my god, that was so cool. And I thought that was the end of the game, and then it wasn't. It's like the game travels forward like 2 weeks later, and it's like a whole bunch of other people have come out saying that they're a root tree. Um, Find out if that's true. Do more research. A whole bunch of stuff online has got updated as well. And I just wasn't interested in doing that. Just like I was like, oh, I really had my fun with this game. I don't know if I want to do part two necessarily. I don't know if I want to have to read through some things I already read for more information. I don't know if I want to do all of this. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It was nice. It was challenging. Again, I enjoyed it. I'm putting it in A. It's going in A. She's going in A. She's going in A. But I just didn't want to do part two, so I didn't. What can I say? But I did really enjoy it. Um, Next game is Astral Throne. I kind of want to almost make another tier that's just like, I don't know if I can legally give you a ranking. I'm gonna put Astral Throne in B. Um, Astral Throne is basically like I have a speech impediment, like a rogue like Fire Emblem game. And it's not that I disliked it, it just didn't keep my attention, and other things just kind of got in the way. Like, I just didn't sit down enough to really chew on it. Like, if I were to make another tier, the tier would be like unranked. Um, I did really like the game of what I played. I just didn't play a lot of it. And I didn't even refund it, you know? Like, I liked it. I just didn't like really like sit down and like, yeah, 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 you know? I don't know. It's like just is gonna go in B tier. Like I don't know. I enjoyed it. I just didn't really get a taste of it. I think a rogue like Fire Emblem is really interesting, but that also kind of takes away of what Fire Emblem is about having a squad and trying to play a lot of it. But that also that kind of is like pure roguelike. Like you have a squad. What can you do? I don't know. Ugh. So this is Misery Code Volume 1. But I'm going to talk about Volume 2 as well. Volume 2 I almost put on this list, but I haven't finished it, and I feel like I'm gonna finish it one day. And that deserves to be on this list. Because Misery Code is so much. I was looking up like games for Yumeneko enjoyers, because that was on my list last year, because I kind of got into it a little bit last year. And this was there, Misery Code. It's a game where you're like I don't remember what she's called, but she's basically in a room all by herself. She can't leave, and it's like European, like old ages. She's a nun, and she's basically like trapped in this room, and all she freaking does is like not retranslate, but like rewrite the Bible hand by hand in other religious texts, and then just read religious texts, study them. And the only kind of communication she's allowed with the outside world is like that book stuff. But then also like people can come to her and ask her like questions. Like she's completely like, I guess this is like a real thing. I think she's completely like zoned out of everything else. Like this is the thing she focuses on. She's just religiously educated. And then what happens is that like somebody in the nunnery is murdered, and like the headmistress or whatever basically takes her out of her like holy whatever thing. And the main character, who I don't remember what her name is, like pissed about it. And she's like, you are the only person, the headmistress is like, you're the only person I trust, because you're the only person I know hasn't killed this person, also just isn't one of my nuns, because all my nuns are kind of bad and evil, or at least like not like holy. The headmistress isn't holy either. And you're basically put in this position, the main nun, the role you follow, is put in this position of having to get to know all the different nuns and the characters. But also, at the same time, she's trying to figure out who killed Catherine with a K. And try to figure that out, while also having a little bit of lesbian moments. But there's more lesbian moments in volume 2. But it doesn't feel too sexual. Like it is sexual, but it's not like hentai levels of sexual, you know? It's just like, yeah, there are a bunch of nuns in a nunnery that isn't that big or famous. Some of them are sleeping with each other. Oh no. Whatever. I just really enjoyed it. I found it very funny. I found it very compelling. Character motivations. Again, I haven't finished volume 2. I will probably come and finish volume 2 once volume 3 releases, because I think it is a trilogy. But I really enjoyed it. I just don't feel like I can talk a lot about it because I don't remember a lot of it. I just wrote, OMG, so good visual novel of nuns with a murder, was recommended for you Mineko enjoyers, and it was so good. Amazing game. I really recommend it. Um, Okay, now this is an interesting one. Avowed. So I didn't see any promotional material of Avowed that I remember. I didn't even know that this is a game set in a universe where other games existed. I didn't even realize it was created by the Outer Worlds people. And I saw a lot of people attack it online as well. And if I remember right, I might have read one comment that was like the promotional material for this game was very misleading. I can't speak on that. All I can speak of is the game I played, which I thought was fine. Like, I don't think it was bad. I should probably move this down to C and then use help to B. Give me a minute. So in Avowed, there's like this kind of like island that is like one of the last places that like no major country has taken over. And it was used for like, there were some like people born there, but then it was also used to like push out like um kind of like Australia, like criminals a little bit. That's the word, criminals, like Australia, criminals. But then also some people fled there to start a new life away from civilization. And you are going as kind of a director from that original place. And you're supposed to kind of like be building trust with some of the like natural people of that place and eventually kind of like take it over. Um, I thought it was fine. Some of the quests were boring. I probably didn't. Okay, they just turned off randomly again. Oh, I was looking at issues I had because they keep turning off. Okay, back in it. So Avowed. I saw some stuff about people not liking it. I saw some people being like, why is the advertising like this? I didn't think the game was that bad. Was it the best game I've played ever? No. It was like a fine semi-open world action adventure, which is like fine. Like it wasn't bad. it was just kind of like, okay. The characters weren't as like fun as like Outer Worlds are. One thing I did really like about this game was that there were quite a few moments where I had a decision to make, and at no point was there a decision that is the middle ground. Like sometimes what I dislike with games is that like you're either good or you're bad, or like you're in the middle, or like you have to like side with this person or side with this person, and whichever side you side with, the other side will die, right? But oh, there's a secret middle option. You just need to put more work in for it, and then everybody's happy. So I was glad to see like you as a character had to make some stances. One thing I really liked was that for all the companions, it kind of seemed like they all had like two options to go down to, like have like two different like endings. But then I think sometime near the end of the game, like there was like, oh shit, there's like a third route that the like your companions could have as kind of like an ending, which I really enjoyed. I mean, whichever route that you kind of push them go to doesn't really matter. It's all about the ending sequence. But I thought, yeah, like that's fine. Like that, like I enjoyed that. Like I did enjoy like having a little bit to push some companions towards. Sorry. Um, I thought combat was like fine. I use magic a lot and swords, so I didn't see like the gun stuff. I think Avowed is a game that if I had infinite time, I would 100% play again and be kind of evil. Like I did like the good route where you help the people who like actually live on the island and not your like conquesting nation you're a part of, or the evil like other people that are there that you can do. I did a big speech character as well, so the final boss I talked down basically. Like I didn't even have to fight her. I just spoke so well. I think so anyways, if I remember right. Again, game I played a while ago. Um, I also took 2 long breaks in between beating the game, but I still really enjoyed it. And I think if Outer Worlds 2 like was never announced, or if it was canceled or never came out, I saw myself platinuming Avowed. But I knew Outer Worlds 2 was coming out later this year, or later when I played Avowed, which we will talk about later. But I enjoyed my time with Avowed. I really did. Um, and next, I'm actually skipping this game. That was gonna be Misery Code Part 2. I decided not to put it in here because I talked about the first game already. 100 Line Defense Academy. Okay. She's going in 8. She's going in top of A tier. Maybe bottom of S tier. I have a difficult time. So 100 Line Defense 100 Line Defense Academy is made by the people, or made by Kodama, who made the Danganronpa series. It's not made by Spike Chunsoft. It's made by his whole game company. Um, and the whole basis of the game is that this is a visual novel. There's a little bit of actual gameplay, but there's 100 different endings. And while playing the game, you go and there's also 100 days. And basically, the tutorial is the first 100 days of the game, and then I guess spoilers. Sorry, like you have to go through 100 days, which takes quite a while to go through the first 100 days, and then your character goes back in time. And it's not so much like you can go through the same 100 days but makes different decisions. Like your character remembers the first 100 days, and that just naturally changes the story of the game. Um, and in terms of like how they do the 100 different endings, there are some endings that are kind of crap. And I should say, I did not get all of the endings. What happens a lot is that after making a few choices, you're usually at some kind of route. And most routes have like a couple endings, like 4 to like 10 probably for most routes. Um, so like pretty early on, I got the mystery route, that I actually couldn't do because it kind of a la some other like time traveling jumping games or other visual novel games. To surpass or continue in certain points of the game, you have to get knowledge from a different route to continue that route. So I got locked behind a few keys and points. Um, and then I played the murder game, or the killing game route, and I got like most routes I feel like also has like, okay, this is like the obvious like there are some bad ends, but they still count the number. I never experienced a bad end necessarily that I thought like, oh, you just add this to fill it up to get to the 100. But like most of like the main routes, like the killing game route has like this is the actual ending for this route. And I got to that ending of that route and I was like, oh shit, I kind of love that. Like I was like, oh my god, that's tea. Like that's a good fucking ending. And I don't remember if I saw it before I got that ending or after I got that ending, but I saw Kodaka come out and he was like, I hope people really enjoy the game and they get all endings, but I also hope that people play the game and they find an ending they like and that can be the ending for them. And if you get an ending and you're happy with it, you can you don't have to get all the endings. You can reach an ending and be like, "Oh fuck, I really enjoyed that." Like that's it. So I played a little bit more. I played some of the comedy route. There's some other routes I don't remember necessarily. Like I never got like some people would talk really mad shit about the Cult of Takumi route, which I think is a little, from what I've heard, is like a ooh yikes. And then also like a box of blessings or a box of curses. Like there's some routes that people are like, this is not good. Like this is just not good. They also had different writers for different routes as well, which is obviously gonna be its own thing as well. But like I got a route, I played a little bit more, and I was like, yeah, I enjoyed that. Um, I probably don't see myself returning to 100 Line Defense Academy. There is actual combat. The whole crux of the game is that you and like 10 or 12 other like students have basically been transported to the 100 Line Defense Academy, which is on the surface of Earth because all the characters are actually from inside the Earth because the whole surface is like fucked up. So they're on Earth and they're like aliens and they need to defend the academy because they have a really secret weapon and you have to defend it for 100 days before it's ready. So there are combat for when those aliens, there's a lot of conversation about what they are and stuff that you I'm not going to get into major spoilers, but they come and attack and you need to use the characters to defend. It's like grid based like Fire Emblem and turn based, but there's a lot of other mechanics that are really unique to the game. um the characters can die, but as long as they get returned to like the revive-o-matic, they can come back. So like when your characters die, you get a huge boost of power that you can use for special attacks. And when your characters get really low on HP, they can also use that huge burst attacks, but they die when they do that. But that also helps you get a better score. Like the more of your characters that die, you actually get a better score. Um, so like the combat wasn't the worst. But like sometimes I'm in the mood to just kind of read a freaking visual novel and I don't want to do the combat. And there are sometimes you guys go on the offense and you go to other places. They're different, like kind of like you're not always defending, but usually that's all what you have to like defend for so many turns usually, or kill the boss. That's basically always it. The combat just sometimes annoyed me and I just kind of got tired of it. I think there's an easy mode, but honestly, I wish I could just skip it. I will say because you're doing so many different routes, there are times where the game will be like, you basically already played this fight. You can skip it if you want. There are times when you're like, well, I don't really know. Like, there were sometimes I think, like, oh, well, I guess I kind of did fight this fight, but at this route, I have this character instead of this character, like, actually alive. But it still let you skip it. The game was pretty generous about when you could skip or not, but I just wish I could skip all of it because I don't want to do it. Like, I think there's a day, like, or I think there's a route which is basically just like a fight like every day or something like that. Like in the actual game, there can be like days or weeks where there's no fighting and then you have like free time and other stuff. But I think there is one route where there's like a shit ton of fights. And just thinking about doing that route kind of pisses me off. I sure I could follow like a general guide online to just look at the routes I want to look at and read, but I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to. So 100 Line Defense Academy, I probably won't come back to, but I really enjoyed what I saw. I really enjoyed the characters. Darumi was amazing. She's the only character name I can really remember right now. Oh, and then also Yugami or Yugama. I don't remember their, like those two, like, whoa. I just love their character. What can I say? I did really enjoy that game. Oh, I didn't put Slay the Spire on this year, did I? No, I think that game has been every year. Whatever, I don't really care. Um, Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days 2. Um, like I was a huge Cardfight Vanguard. It's like a Japanese trading card game, a la Yu-Gi-Oh. Um, like I was huge in it in like middle school and a little bit of high school, but I kind of dropped it eventually. But like, had this game come out when I was that old, I would have fucking spilled my guts over it. I didn't really love it because I think there were differences in it compared to when I played Vanguard. And I honestly think this might be Vanguard's like third reboot, which is just like, come on. I barely played this game. It's another game that if I had an unranked list, maybe I'd put it there, but it just kind of peeved me off. So it's going in G tier. Just kind of peeved me off. Um, I really wanted to play the game. I really wanted to play Cardfight Vanguard again. I looked at some of my cards like 2 weekends ago with my boyfriend just because I wanted to look at them, and that was fun. Um, I don't want to play. I don't want to play that game. I didn't like the tutorial. Epic Mickey Rebrushed. I did not buy this game. Just gonna say that. I did not buy this game, but I did play it. This is a game that's like got like that childhood nostalgia, so it's hard for me to like accurately represent. I think I got farther in this game than I ever did as a kid. Like I think I got pretty far in Epic Mickey 2, but there were some parts of Epic Mickey Rebrushed that I didn't remember. So I don't really know if I ever did, or there were just parts I didn't remember. But like it's Epic Mickey, like Mickey goes into a painting and it's full of like older characters in the Disney universe that have basically been retired. Not totally. Like there's like Daffy and Minnie. Nope, not Minnie. Daisy and Goofy, but there's also like Oswald and some other older characters. Um it's a nice little platformer. I don't really know what's it's Epic Mickey. It's a platformer. You have paint, you have thinner. There's like some actual morality choices which are interesting. I had fun. I got bored at some point. I played a lot during winter break. And then school started, so I dropped it. Again, I did not buy the game, but I did play the game. And then I stopped. And I enjoyed my time. I wasn't gonna give Disney my money, so I did it, and I didn't even finish the game. I was like, oh, that was a nice trip down nostalgia road. Um, I think if I remember right, they actually dropped the price for the game recently because I think they came out with an outrageous price for the game for what it is as well. I wouldn't know. I replayed Fire Emblem Three Houses, and then I got my Switch 2, and I started playing my Switch 2, but the save data didn't carry over, so I was like, I'm gonna drop it. It was fun. I think I got almost to the end of the I got close to the time skip. I didn't get to the time skip. I enjoyed it. I had fun. Um, and then I played a little bit more on my Switch 2. I beat the DLC, which is fine. It's Fire Emblem Three Houses. I like it. It's not the best Fire Emblem game. I enjoy it. It's fucking Fire Emblem. I don't give a fuck. Fantasy Life. Ah. Oh. So now we're getting into it. Now we're getting closer to like the games I played during the summer. And then I also don't remember those games well because that was the summer. So, Fantasy Life. So I played the Fantasy Life that was on the 3DS. I don't remember what it was called. It might have just been called Fantasy Life, and I really did enjoy that. And I always wanted a Fantasy Life for the Steam, and there is. What I wrote down in my notes is had a really fun 20 hours, released around the same time as 100 Line, I think, where it kind of got in the way of me wanting to play more. I really enjoyed what I played. There were some elements that annoyed me. And I am partially sick of the whole build a village aspect of video games right now, but I didn't hate it. I can see myself coming back to this game during a large period of time when I am free. Camera kind of sucks. I agree with the camera kind of sucks. So Fantasy Life is a game where you have like a bunch of different lives, which are more like jobs in like Final Fantasy 13 that you have to switch between, and there are certain like tasks that you want to complete as each job or each life. And there's like some fighting lives, but then there are some like gatherer lives, like getting like chopping down trees, fishing, um farming is when they added this game, which is fun. But then there's also crafting, like chef, blacksmith. I think one new one that they added this game was painter. Um, I did enjoy what I played. It was nice to have a game that I kind of put Fantasy Life in the same category as Farming Simulator a little bit, kind of. Like, it's fun, you play around with it, you can just kind of grind and go mindless. You have some tasks for each life. You could focus on one life though, or kind of be like a jack of all trades. Mama's still got it in here. I'm more of a jack of all trades, like slowly raking up certain stuff. Um, but there are also some aspects I didn't really like. Like like I kind of dislike Animal Crossing's influence on the gaming scene a little bit. Like the whole like build a village. Like you had to literally build houses, get a bunch of like an aspect of this game is masters of certain lives have turned into furniture or other objects, whatever. You turn them back to normal, and then you can recruit them on your like island, because it's like you're jumping through time. There's a past, present, and future. You're in the past most of the time, but then the present is kind of where you're building the village. Um, and you need some of them because sometimes there are obstacles and you need like somebody with a life of a certain level or higher. But then also you can get those villagers to follow you. And like if you have like a fighter villager, or I'm just calling them a villager, I don't really remember, master maybe is what they were called. If you have like a combat one follow you, they'll join you in combat. If you have like a gatherer class, they'll kind of join you in combat a little bit, but not a huge amount if I remember right. But then like if you get a miner, say villager, you can just tell them to mine something, but also if you start mining something, they'll join you, which I really liked. And then if you're like cooking or crafting anything, those roles will help you when you're doing that stuff. So there's a little bit of like min-maxing a little bit. Oh my god, my nose is so itchy. But I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed what I played. Work kind of got in the way. How many hours did I get in Fantasy Life? I should have it even installed right now. I never uninstalled it. I got 21.6 hours. I know they also had a pretty big free update recently where I think they basically did like a roguelike addition to the game, which I felt like they had like a dungeon crawling aspect in it. Which was weird. I just didn't test it a lot because like I didn't like beat the main story. Like I didn't play enough to do that. They had the future, which was kind of just like a weird like section where there was more stuff to do. I didn't get super far in that because I didn't even beat the main story, because I spent a lot of time like getting all of my jobs to like a level of like past beginner. So I spent a lot of time doing that. But I really did enjoy what I played. I feel like this year there was a lot of games that I played and then I dropped them, and then I'm like, oh, I could see myself coming back to that game, which sucks to say that there are a lot of games that I would put in that category. The ranking doesn't fucking matter. I just kind of want to talk about video games. But again, I kind of dislike the whole build a village aspect of games sometimes. It just is like weird. I don't live for it. I don't live for it. It's not really something I like. And then the camera kind of sucked. That was just kind of a general experience I had. It wasn't awful, but it kind of sucked. Persona 5 Royal. Um Here. Yeah, it's like an A tier game. I had played Persona 5. I played Persona 5 Royale when it came out. I beat it. And then I got it for Steam because it was on stale. So it was my first time playing on PC. I got to the Shido boss and then I dropped it. There was just some life got in the way again. Fantasy Life, I started working. So that got in the way. Persona 5 Royale was around the time where I started having some stuff in my personal life. And then I also think I got really far in the Shido boss and then I died and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. whatever. I beat the game before, I can drop it, right? It's fine. It's Persona 5 Royal. You know, I'm kind of surprised I'm only at 50 minutes right now. I really thought, like, by the time I got to Persona 5, we'd be at, like, an hour 20. Okay, Coral Island. Coral Island is another farming sim, right? But I really liked Coral Island. Why was that? So Coral Island is you're it's kind of like Stardew. You're going to an island that there's like environmental storyline going because the island is like kind of polluted. Um, I really like the characters. I enjoyed that it had more like festivals, I think, compared to Stardew. But I also felt like I wasn't forced to be on Wikipedia the whole time. And one, that is a me issue. But two, Coral Island also had like an option to make the day last longer. So I think I made it be like 20% longer or something like that. Like not a huge amount longer, but it was just generally a little bit longer. So felt like I had a little bit more time to do things. And I think I really enjoyed that. Um there is also the whole aspect of the game where you can go fucking like become a mermaid basically, and there are mermaid people to marry. I remember seeing this game on Kickstarter, but I never did Kickstarter. Like I never not Kickstarted it, funded it. I never funded it, but I did buy it just myself. Um, really fun. I don't even think I got married. I might have just said that 10 seconds ago, or I thought that I should mention that. So that's me mentioning it. But there are mermaid people you can marry. You can have like a mermaid farm. There's there's a lot to it that I really did enjoy. There was the basic farming stuff, but then the whole diving. There might have been mining. Yes, there was, because there was really shitty combat, which is fine. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that the combat was a nothing burger. Because I don't know if I would have liked that burger. I don't know if that burger would have been very good. Can I be honest? That burger might have fucking sucked. I think they have had an update since I played it. I wrote down that I felt like I played enough to feel like I could stop playing it, which I agree. I might have gotten married. I really don't remember. I really don't remember. It's been a hot minute, but I really did enjoy what I played. Like, it was nice to play a farming simulator, which I really wanted to find like one that I enjoyed, and then really did enjoy it. Like, I enjoyed my time with Coral Island a lot. Um, and and this is another game where I could say I would probably come back to it, but I won't. But that's because I have another farming simulator on this list that I'm currently playing. So sorry. Um I need to for next year write down more thoughts on games because sometimes I forget things. I'm sure I had some more. I'm sure I had more specifics I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember. And then I have Squeakross Home Squeak Home Style or something like that. Okay, is it better than Three Houses? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Home Squeak Home Renovation is just like it's Picross, but when you do a puzzle, you get a piece of furniture and you're making homes for little mice, little mouses, whatever language you speak in and how you pronounce it. You do boo. Um, and then there's also like a whole nother sheet where you can do puzzles and then you can unlock colors for those same things. So you can unlock more rooms for your mice. It's fun. I think they had a free update recently. I didn't finish all the puzzles. It's another game. You put on one monitor, you put a YouTube video or a podcast on, and you do some fucking puzzles. It's fucking Picross. What do you want me to say? It's Picross with mice. Like, it's good. I bought it for Friday, gifted it to her because I know she likes to do Picross on her phone. I was like, here, in case you want to do it on your computer, because it's a good fucking. It's just Picross. It's a fun time. What the hell do you want me to say? It's Picross. Red Dead Redemption 2 was I think the worst game I played this year. I didn't play a lot of it. I did not beat the tutorial. I think I just dislike Southern voices. I'm sorry. Can I be honest? I just kept hearing these older Southern men talk, and I thought, I just don't know if I like your voice. So it was the worst game I played this year. I barely played any of it. I just kind of disliked how the character sounded. I'm sorry that I'm not woke about Southern voices. I just don't know if I could get through 40 hours of that. So I dropped it. It's another game that should probably be an unranked, unfinished, something like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it bottom of the D tier. And if you want to judge me for it, go ahead. I don't really care. The Evil Within, I bought it because I wanted to play a horror game, and then it was really buggy and really weird, so I dropped it. It's another game that probably shouldn't even be on this list, but I wanted to say I tried to play it and I gave them money to try and play it, and then it was too buggy, so I didn't really get to play it that much. So she's going in C tier. Because she was better than these games. Because at least I could say it was buggy fault and not a game design fault. Oh my god, I didn't write anything for this. Outer Worlds 2 is probably my game of the year, even though I'm not. No, it actually isn't. Oh my god, Outer Worlds 2 isn't my game of the year. That's actually crazy for me to say right now, because this was my most. That was Outer Worlds 2 was my most like anticipated game of the year because I fucking love Outer Worlds 1. It's like one of the only games I've ever like platinum, especially on my PS4. Those load times sucked ass. But I really liked Outer Worlds 2. I didn't write any fucking thoughts for this game. Wow, that's crazy. I did have a little bit of buggy experience, but that's fine. Like whatever. I bought all the DLC, so I'm excited for the DLC releases. I've beat the game one time, and then I was gonna start another character, and then I think winter break happened, so I kind of lost my computer because I can't really play that game on my laptop. So sorry. But Outer Worlds 2. So Outer Worlds 2 is like very much so. Oh my god, I really love this game. I really do, even though I didn't love playing it. I don't know. So Outer Worlds 2, you are an Earth directive agent coming to like a colony of planets because you're on a mission to like make the galaxy better. And another agent is at a location saying like there's this evil basically religion, and they're developing technologies, and the whole thing was that character was actually trying to blow everybody up, but then you survived, and then it created rifts in the world where if you basically get close to a rift you'd like die, and they're kind of like spawning all over randomly around the world. One thing I kind of disliked about the game was that there was a weird tutorial section about that whole doing all that stuff on the um on the plant. Like that was just a little weird. That whole like mission felt like a tutorial, which I don't really know. Like Outer Worlds 1 didn't really have that, so it just felt weird to add that. And then I think too, the reason you don't explode is I think because you get into a cryogenic pod and then you come out of it 10 years later, which it is cool that the only other character to really survive that event besides like the girl who betrayed you is like a new Earth directive agent as well. So you see him go from this happy lucky dude to like kind of a little bit he's gone through some shit, right? Oh, and then also like one of the robots also lives, I guess. Um, but it feels also weird that you start as an Earth directive agent and you are allowed to choose like a background, but it's one of those games where it's like heavy role play, like do what you want. Like I started playing another character, I didn't finish it, I didn't get very far, where there's like a skill you could pick up, which is a psychopath, and then you could also eat people's hearts. Like a major like serial killer. Like my plan is truly kill a bunch of fucking people. That person became an Earth directive agent. Like I think the background you can choose is that you were going to become a convict, and the way to get out of your prison sentence was to do that job. But like Outer Worlds 1, you're truly like you don't have a background, so you can really do whatever you want. Whatever. A lot of the game is based between the two factions. There is Auntie. Oh God, what is it called? There's Auntie, but the game is also about capitalism. Like when people are born, like when two parents there's a lot of like company towns, like a company owns and runs a town, everybody there works under that town. So when two people who live in that town have a kid, that kid like takes a test to see like where they will be placed within that company, and oftentimes that is not at that same town because their test says that they should go do this or be this. Like it's very there's a lot of talks about like capitalism. Outer Worlds 1 had a lot about that. So a major company, Auntie, ugh, I don't remember what it's called, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to find it within time. Um Auntie's it's Auntie something merged with Spacer's Choice, so now it's Auntie's Choice, which kind of sucks that Spacer's Choice went away, but it is funny to like talk about like two companies merging because that's very realistic in our world, but also it's kind of um satire because it's two like huge mega corporations. But then also I think when you learn more about the game, Auntie's Choice hasn't been that merger hasn't actually been verified, and I think Auntie just kind of took over Spacer's Choice by like guns and shit like that. Like it's very funny. It's very funny. Like it was a takeover by force. Um, a lot of the quests were fun. The characters, your companions, are a lot more crazier in this game, which is funny. But then it's also like I'm literally allowed to have this cultist on my team, and everybody hates her. Like she's a part of the evil cults sub like religion basically, so like not even they like her. Like so the two major factions are the protariat pro they're a religious group who believes in math, and that math can like solve everything. Weirdly, like if you can solve the equation to the universe, you can know everything that will happen. And then Auntie's Choice, which is a major fucking corporation. Like those are your main two choices. Now this game does have that kind of like you can kind of play in the middle a little bit, but like only kind of so much. Like you can get the two factions to like work together, but to get them to work together, you have to have like a conversation with the major head figures of both of them, and you either have to be good enough at persuading them to work together or like have like a give and take. Like there's an archive full of like the world's like biggest technology, and like you can give it to Auntie's Choice, but they're just going to use it for like marketing and like other stuff. But you can get them to work together or like say like these people should have it. So there's like a whole it's fun. I enjoyed my time with Outer Worlds 2. A lot of quests had different ways to complete them. It was very funny. Like a major part of the first like planet you're on is that you're having to cross this bridge, and there's many different ways you can cross the bridge. There is an army next to the bridge that you can convince them to just charge forward. You can help one of the guys at the main force, and he can I think get them to charge. But also if you find out where the double jump boots are, there's a side way all the way across the map that you can double jump across. And I think there's probably plenty of other ways that I don't remember, I didn't do. Right? So a lot of quests had that. But there are also times where you weren't allowed to make a middle choice. Like at the end of that route, there's basically a spaceship coming down and you're fucked. You're like, kill these people or kill these people. And unless you have like a good enough technology, I think, to like, no, I was able to save it because I had the luck trait. So if I didn't have that, I would have said, okay, which group of people are going to die? And I like that. I like when you always don't have that middle ground choice and you have to make a choice. I really wish I had written more about this game. I think there's a little bit of crafting system, like crafting bullets. There came a point in the game where bullets wasn't a worry anymore, but at the beginning of the game, it was a really big hassle having to swap between weapons. I think weapons might have also had durability, if I remember right, and I really don't love durability as a mechanic. Um, I think I try to do like a sniper stealth build because that's what I love to do in Outer Worlds 1, but it's not as in good as in 2, which is fine. They also changed the whole skill tree, not skill tree, but like skills and flaw system. So in Outer Worlds 1, skills were grouped in categories of like 3 or 4. Like guns had like I think pistols, long guns, and maybe a third thing. And you upgrade the category, which upgrades all 3 of the minor categories until at least one of them hits 50. And then to go above 50, you have to upgrade that skill specifically. So you had to like you could be like kind of like a multi-user and do a lot of little things, but eventually you had to kind of pick things. But like in Outer Worlds 1, like you could have a lot of skills be really high and be successful in a lot of different categories, right? Like maybe you're not going to be lockpick the biggest things unless you put a lot on lockpick, and maybe you're not going to have the biggest speech, but you're going to be pretty damn good to be able to do mostly everything. But then the skills in that game were in categories of 3, and all you had to do was like reach like level 10 to reach the second category and level 20 to reach the third category, and then you could pick any of them in there. And the level cap was like 32. The level cap was way too low in Outer Worlds 1. But to pick those skills, you didn't have to have like long guns and level 70 to pick a skill. You just had to unlock that category of skills and you could select any of them. And that was like a little like then I don't really feel like I'm a specific character and I'm just kind of like choosing the like for almost every game or run I'd play of Outer Worlds 1, which I played a lot of, I would pick mostly the same skills. And then there was the flaws system in that game as well, which is basically take a negative trait to your character to gain one skill that you want, which wasn't huge. I really would take flaws. That game, Outer Worlds 1 also had a carry limit, which they removed in Outer Worlds 2, which I think was the right move because you have a lot more stuff in Outer Worlds 2 and it would have pissed me off. So I'm glad that they made that decision. I am glad they made that decision. But then in Outer Worlds 2, you have to put skill points into specific skills. There is no that general thing. And skill like like you have to put them in the general category of skill. Like if you want to upgrade guns, you have to put it into long guns or short guns, or like there's no like putting like major and minor categories. And then to actually pick up skills, it might say like you need melee at 10 or guns at 5. So there were also sometimes multiple choices, but sometimes they were like, to get this skill, you need medical at 7 and leadership at 3, right? So that was a little bit more specific. And then I think some skills were also like level dependent. But one thing I saw, and it's really true, is that Outer Worlds 2, you cannot be a jack of all trades. If you try to like generalize your points or maybe have a few like specific skills but still try to upgrade everything, you will fail. You are never going to become good at lockpicking unless you focus on lockpicking and maybe like 3 or 4 things. You are never going to like be a good hacker if you don't put enough skills into hacking. You're going to do no damage if you don't put damage into damage, right? You're just not going to be good. And the flaw system is really well reworked. It's also the character creation, the actual like creation system as well. You can choose like 2 bonuses generally to your character, and you can get a third if you take on like a beginning flaw. And one of the beginning flaws is that you have to lock away, I think, 5 of the 12 available skill trees, and you can never put any points into them. And it's not actually that bad because you do need to focus on things. Like you have to pick your like main stuff that you're going to put points in and do that. The flaw system is also a lot better. You get a negative aspect to get a good aspect, right? Like, and also like, I mean, in the first game, the flaws you were offered were usually around the things you were doing, but like, I think the number one flaw that people think of when they think of Outer Worlds 2 is like shaky knees. While crouching, you move faster, but every time you crouch or uncrouch, your knees crack and it alerts everybody around you, which is like fun. Like I get to move faster, but I cannot just uncrouch, crouch, uncrouch, crouch because people will hear me. Another flaw is jack of all trades, where whenever you get skill points, you have to put them in your lowest level skill like slot because you're a jack of all trades. Like you have to. Like the flaws also in the game are like some of like the jack of all trades ones really change how you play that fucking game. There's one which is kleptomania, where sometimes you will just fucking steal stuff that's around if you just look at it, regardless of whether or not people are looking at you or not. The flaws really do change the game, but they're fun. They're fun. I really did enjoy Outer Worlds 2. I beat the game once, and I started a second playthrough, and then I no longer had access to my computer because I went home, and yeah. Other games obviously got in the way, but it was largely because I lost access to my computer and my laptop. I'd even try running it on my laptop. I just think there's no way. Like I said, I had a few graphical errors. There was one area where my game kept crashing, and I would just save every like 20 or 30 seconds, and I eventually did finish it, but it was really fucking annoying. But I did get through it. It was only one area. It probably added maybe 20 minutes to my life. Otherwise, the game might have ran slow at some points. It wasn't that bad. The next game I played was The Sands of Blake Manor. I actually wrote a lot about this game. Had a lot of fun. A little disappointed how easy, at least, I found some mystery aspect. A little disappointed that I felt like the dream sequence stuff wasn't more explored, both gameplay, but also how the mystery of it felt almost worthless. I did really enjoy the gameplay and the majority of the characters. Didn't think I would like the time management and schedule stuff. I think if it were longer, I would get annoyed by the way it did it, i.e., not always knowing where people are, but for the time and money, it didn't overstay its welcome. A little boring of an ending, plus no special ending for doing everything in the special way to end it. But not bad by any means. I'm just seeing extra stuff it could have done. So Sands of the Blake Manor is kind of Obra coded, but not really. Um, you're a private investigator going to where a seance will be held at Blake Manor. And you're basically a character, a woman has disappeared. I don't remember what her name is, but you're being invited there to basically find out where she disappeared to. And also kind of just look into the seance and what the fuck is going on. So the whole kind of aspect of the Sans Blake Manor is trying to learn about characters, learn about why they're there, and then as they do it, your basically page about that character will fill up with information. And once you have the bare minimum of information, your character can form a hypothesis, which is usually about why the character is there, like their secret basically. And then you can go reveal that to that character and be like, I know why you're here, and that character will usually ask you to do something, or your character will be like, oh, I should go do something. And if you do that, the character will usually not attend the seance or will not die at the seance. The game is also set in Ireland, I think, so there's actually a lot of stuff about like the Ireland like mysticism and religion, which I thought was really fun and interesting. um you gain information about characters by talking to characters. You get like hints and stuff, and every hint or thing you get you can ask a character about. The game tells you like this thing can be asked to this category of characters. Another aspect of the game is to go into characters rooms. So it's really important to find like each like hallway has its own key, so you need to find that key to then get into that character's room. But you need to find out what that character's schedule is, because if you go in the room while that character's there, you're don't fucking do that. So then you have to snoop in their room, find out information, and then eventually form a hypothesis, and then go talk to that character, and then take the action that's needed. Sometimes the hypothesis is really easy, and the action is what takes a long time, because sometimes actions you need a hypothesis about another character, and sometimes the hypothesis is really difficult, but the action is really easy. There are a few times when you're like, oh, I know what the hypothesis is, but I cannot make it because I don't have the necessary information, which kind of sucks that you're like, oh, I know this character is here for money, but I don't have all the right keywords basically that the game is going to want me to say. So that kind of sucks. Um, and also, every action takes time. Asking a character like an evidence thing will take 1 minute. Looking at an object will take 1 minute, and every hour characters will like continue with their day. Um, so you do have a time limit, and I thought that'd be a little bit more irritating, but it was actually pretty easy. By the end of the game, you have I think Friday night, all of Saturday, and then like Sunday morning and some of afternoon to do everything. And I thought I'd be more pissed and I'd have to do a second playthrough, but I actually had a lot of time near the end, or at least like enough time to feel comfortable, you know. It didn't overstay its welcome. Some characters, like I said, you could figure out what was going on, but it wasn't too bad. Like it was fine. I'm trying to think. Oh, and then the game, the whole thing about the Sands of Blake Manor also is that like the woman has been kidnapped, yes, but then also like everybody there is dreaming about weird stuff, and like there's a few dream aspects. They're not super huge and they're not super like busy there. There's also sigils that you have to like draw, And I didn't realize at first that for some sigils, they don't tell you like what dot is supposed to connect to what dot. So that was just weird. It's not too big of a deal. It's not too difficult either. It was like fine. It was a good game. Like I said, the dream sequence stuff didn't feel that explored. And I liked a lot of the characters. And I think if it were any longer, I think I would get irritated by it, but it did not overstay its welcome, which I think some games do drag on. The ending bored me a little bit, but I also, the game is more about the mystery that each character has, and I really did enjoy it. It was a really good game. It was a really good game. It was pretty good. The Bazaar, it's an auto battler very akin to like Hearthstone or I think League of Legends had one that they're discontinuing, but it's very much all of that. Um, it functions, and I actually played it, so I guess I have to put it bottom of B tier. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I can put it top to C tier. I don't know. There are heroes. I think you have three, but then there are three that you have to pay money for, and I think they're actually kind of expensive, which don't make sense to me. But I get that it's like a lot of different cards for them for each new hero, but like it is not cheap for a whole new hero. So that's kind of like, oh, I have to spend that much money. Like, yeah, the heroes are $20, which is kind of crazy because this game cost money, I'm pretty sure. I don't see where there's a world where I got this game for free. Um, it's not great, but I've put like 4 hours into it and I thought it's fine. Okay, No Sleep for Kaname Date, bottom of C tier. So No Sleep for Kaname Date is the third game in the AI. Oh my god, what is it called? Somnium, the AI Somnium series. Um, I really liked the first one. The second one I thought was good, but maybe not as good as the first one, or maybe the second one was better than the first one. But the first two were good. The first two were good. Um, this game I felt like it was I felt like this game was kind of advertised as the third game in the series, and it feels much more aligned to a spin-off, which might seem like that's the same thing, but it's not. Because I think this game was $40 and I beat it in 20 hours, which doesn't feel right to me. And I also didn't feel like it was good. And I think that's a bigger issue. I beat it. Oh my! I beat it in 6.9 hours. I beat it in 6.9 hours. Let me check the store page. It's got a very positive rating. I beat it in 6.9 hours, and the normal price of this game is $40. Um, okay, I'm seeing a lot of negative reviews about this game. Um, yeah, it's like a halfway. It's like it's just like I came into it expecting it was the next game in the series, and I beat in 6.9 hours compared to where the other games were a lot longer. The other games had like multiple routes and endings and timelines. This game just didn't have that. The puzzles and the Somnium stuff were fine. I can't believe I'm about to say this. I don't want to talk about this game more. I think it wasn't the worst game of the year for me, but it was the most disappointing game of the year for me. I this is probably how some people felt about Avowed, where they came in with certain expectations and maybe how advertising was. It's also a game with the weird stuff about sexualizing. It's an anime game. It's a fucking anime game, visual novel, whatever. Like the storyline didn't interest me. The Somniums and puzzles didn't interest me. The fact that I thought I was getting the third game in the series and I was getting a spin-off kind of, it's well like a 1.5. I saw somebody kind of say it's like the 1.5, which is kind of true. It just kind of peeved me off. It peeved me off. When I beat it, it pissed me off. Persona 5 X. Yeah. Um Just ... Not a good gotcha game, maybe. Not sure what went wrong here. I think I just don't like gotcha games, maybe. I only don't think I'm that horny for Persona, so that didn't help. It's not that I don't like gotcha games. Yes, I don't like your Genshin and your Zenless Zone Zero and whatnot, and your Withering Waves. I like gotcha though. I played Fire Emblem Heroes for like 3 or 4 years. I put hundreds of dollars on that game. Persona 5X, just like, I didn't have fun with it. The looking at the rates and the gotcha didn't seem fun. Like getting the weapons and everything. Like, I don't like that. Like, Fire Emblem Heroes gotcha at least is like you get the heroes and they come with their weapons and their skills. Like, you just have to get the heroes. I don't like the whole like getting like weapons as well aspect of certain gotcha. I'm also just not that horny for Persona characters. Most of them are high schoolers, so like there's that. But then also the game is so like horny for women, and like I understand that the story does get better, and I'm sure the story does get better. I'm not disagreeing with that. I am just not willing to play a gotcha game for the story, and like I also don't know if at this point in my life I'm willing to play a gotcha game as well. But like I have liked gotcha games in the past. I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I played Fire Emblem Heroes. I just don't think I'm horny for Persona 5 and other Persona characters. Like, that's probably what it comes down to. And also, it's gotcha, spending a lot of money. I'm not as willing to spend a bunch of money right now anyways, but like, it just, I tried it on my computer, didn't love it. Tried it on my phone, didn't love it. Maybe gotcha isn't for me. I didn't like it, so I'm not gonna play it. Murders on the Yangtze River is probably like a bottom. I mean, these are all good games. These are mid. Yeah, bottom of A tier. Murders on the Yangtze River is a Chinese murder mystery game that I think I started in 2024 but finished in 2025. And part of that reason is because they eventually removed that button. I remember seeing in the updates, but there was a button to basically reset your entire progress, and I accidentally pressed that, so then I had to replay it. But it's just like a fun like murder mystery game. I don't think I had it in 2024, right? For some reason I think I might have. No. Okay. Um but like this game was like winter. I just forgot to put it on my list. That's why it's all the way down here. It's one of our last games we're talking about. Um Sorry, I just want to go feed my cat. It's a good game. Like, I do remember playing it and enjoying it, and the murders and the mysteries being fun. I would play a sequel, I think. Whatever. Divinity Original Sin 2. I finished Act 1. So now we're at some really recent games. So top of B tier, only because I finished Act 1 and then I dropped the game. And I started playing the game because I got sick. Like I said, I got influenza, and then I got something else which developed into pneumonia, and I got an ear infection. So I played this a little bit. It was fun for what I played. I thought about going back to Baldur's Gate 3, and then I tried to play Baldur's Gate 3 and I realized, oh wait, I don't want to play this game. I got it for pretty cheap. I thought it was good. I don't have a lot to say. This is a game that I probably won't come back to. I played one act and I said, eh. I don't have to talk a lot about every game. I can say I played Act 1, I finished it, whatever. Oh, I don't. Why do I have Hades 2 on here? I did not play Hades 2 this year. Even though the game officially came out this year, I did not play Hades 2 this year. Bottom of the B tier. I don't know. The game's fine. It's Hades 2. I don't love it. I don't love it. It's like whatever. This is a game I actually really want to talk about. The next two games. I should probably get the water. Do you see the cup behind me over here? It's filled with water. I'm not gonna get it though. So, oh my god, am I putting another game in? So that says the Murder Hotel. So the Murder Hotel is. So the Murder Hotel, you play as a character. I don't remember the characters' names. Where you're a pilot and you crash land at a hotel, and it's very Yumenenko coded. Like if you are somebody who scrounges for anything Yumenenko coded, play the Murder Hotel, because it is very Yumenenko coded. And there's a bunch of characters staying at this hotel, and there's a snowstorm, and that's why you're having to stay. And none of the characters can necessarily remember how long they've been staying there, but they all know they're staying there because of the snow. Everybody's like from a different nationality. It's very European vibes. I'm pretty sure the character's name I don't even know if I could pronounce because of how European it is. Um, and I don't want to describe it. Um, a little bit after, okay. One thing I want to talk about is that the main character flirts so much, and at one point, I think he's like late 20s or early 30s, and one character he flirts with a lot is either 17 or 19. I really don't remember. It was just really weird. Now, at the end, the character makes a joke like, oh, we would have never done anything. I was just having fun. It was just kind of weird. Anyways, that character he flirts with dies, as well as another character in the hotel. And the whole world kind of stops, and then the hotel's like manager basically appears, and he's like, okay, main character, we're gonna play the game now. And the whole game is that the dude, the evil hotel manager is like, I killed both of these people. I did it. It's true. I did it, and I did it using magical powers. I have giant scissors. I can teleport through walls. Like, he makes everybody else like stop moving, and it's only him, our main guy, and then you can actually see her, Clara Frank, I think her name is, I want to say. They're the ones who aren't like stopped in this weird time dimension thing. And he's like, I killed them using magical powers. You need to, in like demon court, prove that it was a human who could have done it. And that's the whole game, is that this dude is like, I did it using magical powers. You need to find a way a human could have done it. Which is very Humanenko coded. Humanenko's whole thing is that a witch is making these murders, and the main guy needs to prove that witches aren't real, and therefore somebody must have been able to do it. It's very much that. So there is the investigation sequence. It also feels very like it could have been RPG Maker made in, like in terms of like the camera angle and walking around in the scenery. I don't actually know if it was made in RPG Maker. It didn't it's a polished game. It's a polished game, but not a finished game, and we're gonna get into that. And in each, there are, I think, 4 or 5 cases. I really don't remember. Um, and in each case, another one of the hotel guests are also working against you, basically. The whole plot line of the game is that you have to do this because you're actually in a coma. You're not actually at the hotel. When he crash landed his plane, because he's a pilot, he went into a coma. And the main evil guy is a dream demon. And that you need to win all of these murder cases, or he will like control your soul, whatever, and you'll eventually die in your coma because you won't be able to leave. And everybody else in the hotel is also in a coma and has failed at doing the whole demon court thing, except Clara Frank, because Clara Frank is basically an intruder on the situation. Um, you have the normal investigation, which is just looking at like exclamation marks on the ground. But then you also have this really weird word system. It's like you need to form a sentence, and you have different like words you can use. You have a category of like nouns, and then verbs, and then also like adverbs. So you could say like, how are you? But you could also say like, where were you during the crime? Where were you before the crime? Where were you after the crime? And you're also on a time limit as well. So you need to, once you form a sentence, you can always ask everybody else that sentence, but you need to know who is it important to ask that sentence to. Some characters are in groups, so you ask one question, you get 3 different people, but some characters are by themselves, and you need to be like, what question is important to ask which characters? And during investigating and asking character stuff, you get different kind of scissors, which are very much kind of akin to truth bullets at Danganronpa. They're different colors, but I don't remember exactly what they are. You get like, I think there's green, blue, and red scissors. And green scissors are like, the whole point of the game, and also Demon Court, is that you, one, have to like establish how it was done, and then 2, the enemy will basically attack your theory, or they will have a theory, and you need to disprove their theory or protect your theory. So one of those is like just general information and can be used to create a theory. And then another one, which I think are the red scissors, and those basically can only disprove other information. They can't be a theory themselves. Like, because I think you need to have like probably like how it was done, motive, and then certain cases also have certain questions. Um, and then also while you're doing the investigating, characters can be like, I have a question for you, or like one thing is that there's two sisters in there, and oh hi Kitty, are you done with dinner? Probably not. He only ate a little bit, if I had to guess. Um, and like their bathroom is right next to the room where they got murdered, and you're like, I want to investigate the bathroom, and the characters are like, I don't really want you to investigate my bathroom. So you have to like answer a question of them about why investigating that bathroom would be useful or like whatever. Um, but then also the game has like kind of a secret route, kind of, where there's like a whole like demon like plot because like the main character or the main evil guy is like basically the number 2 or number 3 demon. And while investigating for the first trial, you can find this basically this demon, which is like, I'm like fucked right now. Me and my guys are like from the olden times. But if you can find all 5 of us and answer our questions, will like help you cheat. And I thought that this was a mechanic for easy mode, but I was wrong. This is basically how you progress in the secret mode. Each investigation has like a secret route that you need to do to get secret information to continue the secret route. So in this one, you have to find 5 of the different like demons, answer their questions, and then you get a purple scissor basically, which is like a lie or not real or cheating basically. Oh, and then the blue scissors are like fact. Blue scissors are like, this is an indisputable fact, and they aren't really used that much besides the last trial because fact is like weird. Um, so like I think there's also like moving out to the actual court system. It's like fun. In the first trial, Clara Frank, um, she got to pick who did it first, and then you have to disprove her theory, and then also prove a theory. I'm gonna die one day. Um, and there are different scissors you can use, and like there's like 5 questions you need to answer. So and you can destroy certain answers, and you can go in what order you want. And she only has 5 hearts. So like one of the questions is like the second guy who got murdered in a different room, and Clara Frank pointed at this one girl, which we're gonna have to talk about her. She's gonna get her own fucking talk in a few minutes. Um, and you can disprove that the dude got murdered in her room to be like, do you know that for sure? And if it's the last heart, she's like, ah, fuck, I don't know if it is. Ah, fuck, ah, fuck. But if it's not the last heart, the character Clara Frank will be like, I don't know, we can ask her, hey, is that your room? And she'll be like, yes, it is. It still makes her lose a heart, but like, there's a lot of like different ways to go about it. I think for the first um case, I think there are 3 different people that you as the player can say did it. There is, sorry, I got water now. There are 3 characters I think you can say you did it. Clara Frank, you can say that the person you're going up against did it, which is what I did first, and then I restarted to do the cheating. And I think there's another random character you can say did it, which we'll get into that. And then if you go through the cheating route, you can say your character yourself did it. And then I want to say there are 3 or 4 more cases in the game, which all kind of follow that general aspect about like cheating, and there's some aspect of the game you can do or like cheating around. There's a few not actions, there's a few like running scenes where you have to run away from something, but the developer changed that so if you get caught 3 times, it just automatically moves you to the next section. It's like whatever, you're not gonna, I don't care. Like, because some people can't do that. Like I remember seeing somebody in the discussion post of the game was like, hey, I simply cannot beat this because I physically can't do it. Like I don't have that ability. So the developer did that, which I think is really cool. um I will say there's a lot of characters, and not all of them are actually that important to the story. But there's one character who's really important to the story. I don't remember what her name is, so I'm just gonna call her Orange Haired Girl. the main character you play as flirts with a lot of different women. And at one point he gets amnesia. It's like a whatever scenario. And during the time he has amnesia, him and this girl go on a date and they basically start dating. And reading that scene just pissed me off because I was like, what the fuck is this? Both of them are acting so shy. This is so weird. He's so flirtatious, but I get that he's not actually super dating that much. Like it's all just like an act kind of. It was just really weird. And that the orange haired girl is actually really important to the story because she's basically being she didn't have her mind wiped like everybody else did. Everybody else who failed at the hotel and the murder stuff got their minds wiped and actually their like personality changed. One character who also has amnesia because he was basically a fucking murderer when he was trying to solve the murders. So the evil demon guy changed him because it's like I don't want this guy in my hotel. While the orange haired girl lost, but she like stole a knife and hid it and he doesn't know where the fuck it is. So he's like, I'm not gonna take your memory away because if you forget where this knife is, I'm really gonna fucking need it. But he's kind of also an asshole to her, but also sometimes characters like break down or have really difficult moments and she's the only one because she kind of also knows like Irish magic because I think she's also Irish, another Irish like mysticism thing, huh? um so the main guy's like, I'll let her do it because she's the one who knows how to do this thing, whatever. She's been there and she's seen a lot of different characters fail at the whole murder thing. I don't know, it's really weird. The two of them get together basically. It's kind of strange. There's a lot of other stuff I'm skipping, but one thing I'm really sucks that I had a misunderstanding of the game, and I kind of wish it had been real, is that I had thought that every single murder that had happened really did happen. Not really did happen. That everybody had to solve the same murders. Because the orange haired girl has this fear of elevators. So if you're playing with her or she's following you, you have to take the stairs. And it's because her final murder she couldn't solve. And like the elevators had something going on, a part of it. No, she can't take stairs. If you're with her, you have to take the elevators because she can't do stairs. Sorry, wrong way. So like stairs are just really weird to her now. And I thought we were gonna have to solve that case, but no, everybody gets different cases, which makes sense because now I'm gonna get into a little actual spoiler stuff. So whatever, you don't care, you don't care. But I'm trying to think what I was about to say because there was something I was gonna say beforehand. Oh, so the main character you play as gets sick. So he's there, they're having dinner for the first time, and all of them are from different countries. So the chef made a little muffin for everybody with the flag of their country on it. And the main character you're playing, who flirts with a 17 or 19-year-old who I don't remember, eats that girl's muffin. And then he gets sick. And everybody else had shared food, but the muffins were the only thing that was different. I think maybe even the muffins were made individually and had aspects of their countries. So everyone's like, oh, he got sick because of the muffin. And that's like an important aspect. The only one you can possibly say is a criminal in that case must have also poisoned the muffin because the girl who died was supposed to get that muffin with poison. Um, and then the very last case of the game, which also a little bit thing, I think this game could have used like one or two more cases. I think there's one or two more cases of this game, and they're at the same level as even the worst case in this game. Um, it's like an S-rate game for me. So the very last trial of this game, which also isn't completed, every case you have to continue with the like secret route, and then additional stuff gets added. The final case does not currently have the secret route ending implemented. The developer has said that they are trying to get it released, but they couldn't finish it in time for the game. And even without the secret route, which I think the secret route does add a lot, and I think like I will come back to play the secret route ending. I'm just reading their stuff about it. Yeah. There's like 2,000 more textbooks they need to text boxes they need to add. There's a bunch more they need to do. Like there's a bunch that they still need to do. Also not all the characters are plot related. I don't know if I remember to say that, but like they're hoping to like get the secret route implemented eventually. They're planning to release it in November, but things got harder. They're gonna try to finish it by January, but I'm gonna play it whenever they release it. Or the True Route, Secret Route, True Route, whatever. It's not implemented. But I still like the final route. I just wish there'd been a little bit more. One thing that is iterated a few times in the final case, final chapter, whatever you want to say of the game, is that a lie that is repeated enough times becomes the truth. And I was like, I don't know what lie became the truth. Like, I'm like trying to think about that. And then in the final case, it was kind of given to me, but it still blew my mind because all the characters had accepted that the muffin was poisoned. There is no evidence of the muffin being poisoned. There's just evidence of your main character being poisoned, and there was poison. But in the scene earlier, your main character drinks wine, and the character who also dies in chapter 1 was originally also going to have wine, but gave you their glass because they had already had that type of wine before. So the secret, the lie that was repeated enough times that became the truth, was that the cupcake or the muffin was never poisoned. It was the glass that was poisoned, which just blew my mind. That was amazing. During the final trial as well, the whole thing was that it's kind of revealed that the actual evil demon guy didn't commit the murders, but actually another human committed them. But she's also called, it's like one character who had like no plot relevance, like a few other characters, whatever. She's titled the pink herring instead of the red herring, which I think is funny. She even has a few pink like scissors, which I think are funny as well. And obviously because the secret route, the game is pointed to there being an actual like person did it, and it's not actually her, and she's like lying, or she believes she did it. I don't know. The ending was a little bit disappointing, but I'm sure the True Route is going to kind of, even if the True Route sucks, I think the game will still be at worst a B. Like it wasn't even that much money. I think it might have been like $20. Like, it's a really fucking good game. Like, I really enjoyed this. It was only 8.2 hours, but it was like it was really good. It was really good. Yeah, $20. Like, I thought this was a pretty fucking good game. Sorry. Like, I don't think it was S tier, but I think if the True Route is good enough in the final case, like if the final case reveals something really good or there's some more mystery, I think the game could go up for me. I don't know if it could go to S tier. Wow, the sun has set. I will have to try to finish it with my last game really quickly. But like, again, I think if there were one or two more cases and the secret route was finalized, the Murder Hotel could have like been in the running for my best game of the year. Coming into this year, Outer Worlds 2 was like the game I was looking out for. I pre-ordered it. I spent $100 on it. Like, that was, I don't know that I can see that there's a possible way that there was a different game of the year for me. Like, I don't know if I even conceived that. And no way in fucking hell did I think it was going to be a fucking farming simulator of all things. Because I'm not a big farming simulator person. Like, Stardew Valley, I couldn't get into it. The Coral Island, the fact I really enjoyed Coral Island so much was a surprise to me as well. If you see a little weird color in it, it's because I originally had Diet Coke in this, and then I had a bunch of ice cubes, but then I drank all the Coke I could, and then I added water, but there was still some Diet Coke in it, so there's like a little hint of Diet Coke in this. Actually, what happened was that I did Pepsi. No, I did Coke, filled it with ice cubes, then I did Diet Pepsi. No, Cherry Pepsi, and then the Cherry Pepsi ran out, and then I filled this with water. And that's the truth for you. I have been talking for like an hour and 40 minutes. Shut up. Sorry for looking at my other monitor, by the way, so much. I just love looking at myself. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar was a game that I wasn't originally gonna play. And then I did what I do sometimes, which is not pay for a game, play it, and then if I like the game, I will then purchase it. That's all I'm gonna say. So Story of Seasons was a game that I decided to try out for funsies. And I just fucking loved it. I don't know. I was playing it before I did this. And I'm probably like, unless I play Overwatch tonight, I'm probably gonna play more Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. So Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is originally a Harvest Moon. I don't know why my throat is getting so clogged up recently. Like, I do not. There we go. Okay. I don't remember. Like, I did not cough this much yesterday. This is so weird. Um, was originally a Moon Harvest title, but now there's like issues with the Moon Harvest like copyright title. I don't really know. So Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar it's your basic farming simulator storyline where your character is moving from the big city to a small village to become a farmer. So Story of Seasons has your basic like plot, plants, crops, grow them. But then I think there are two kind of big aspects that are different. So about there's also like animal stories or whatever. So the first is that there are windmills. There are 3 windmills around the like town, and you put items in there. Like they're, you choose what thing you want to craft with what items in the windmill, and the windmill's speed is determined by how fast the wind is. There is either no wind, little wind, a good amount of wind, or there's a hurricane, in which case there's a lot of wind, or there's like extreme winds, maybe not a hurricane, but there's extreme winds. um each windmill, like you have the red windmill, and then eventually you unlock the blue windmill, and then you unlock the yellow windmill. As the windmills go, they create different items, but there's a little bit of progression between the 3 of them. But there's also just like yellow windmill also does create just some different stuff, but it's also some of the best stuff. But also there's some stuff that are equivalent to the red windmill as well. So there is progression between the 3 of them, but also there is some general stuff in all 3 of them, or there's some general stuff that all 3 of them do. But the major aspect of the game probably is the Grand Bazaar. So every Saturday is the bazaar in the town. That's a big part of the like. There is some story to the game, but not a lot. Is that the town used to be dedicated to the bazaar selling, and then the mayor's mom left the town. She was the town's farmer and the mayor. A lot to do for one woman. The bazaar has kind of gone down. So you being back as the farmer help make the bazaar a lot more fanciful, but also more people go to it, and then also you help people set up new shops as well. So like instead of your normal game where you sell like farming simulators where you sell stuff at like a shopping or a selling bin in your farm, you're doing most of your selling at the bazaar. You can sell items at like your crop shop or at where you buy seeds for crops. You can sell items there, but I've done that maybe once or twice. Like you do just save up a bunch of items to then sell them at the bazaar, because you make a lot of money doing that. And also you can like decorate your bazaar or your shop a little bit, not a lot, and you get a lot of like money bonuses from the decorations. On Saturdays you get a morning shift and an afternoon shift. Um and it's a pretty easy mini game. I've rarely ever not finished selling everything I could possibly fit in to sell. Sometimes I can't fit everything I want to sell, but everything that does fit is probably gonna sell. Um, I really enjoy it. I will say, unlike Coral Island, which I remember like liking the characters, I don't love the characters as much in Grand Bazaar, but I still do enjoy them. I don't love the romance options. They're like fine. I'm married. I can look it up. Arata. This character. Oh wait, you can't see him. Open image, a new tab. This was the character I married in game. Because most of the other characters like kind of suck in terms of marriage candidates. But as a gay man, wanting to marry other men, he was the best one for me. Um, there's 4 seasons, last 31 days, certain things in certain seasons. There is a beekeeping and mushroom farming aspect, which I really like. There's also nature sprites. The nature sprites upgrade the quality of things. That's a big aspect, is wanting to get better quality things. Everything can go up to 7-star rating. That's the max, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 75% sure. And to get like natural spawning things to be higher quality, you have to give items to nature sprites. So there's like an aspect that takes a little bit to do that. But I'm like pretty like I remember seeing somebody online, maybe not about this game, but about another farming simulator. But I think it was like in the reviews of this game that was like choose what you want to do. Like if you want to really focus on animals, focus on animals. But if you want to focus on fishing, focus on fishing. And that really helped me. Like there you have a horse that you can train during the summer and winter. There are horse races, and you can train your horse to do better. But I haven't really focused on that because I don't really want to do that. So I'm not going to. I will say, like I said, I got sick a few weeks ago for about 3 weeks. I played a lot of this game during that time. So that's what I did for most of my time. I think I probably have about 60 hours or almost 60 hours in the game. Um, I really freaking, I really freaking like this game. I really freaking like this game. I don't know when I'm gonna stop playing. It's my game of the year. I think this game, I think maybe for once, the game of the year for me is a game that actually came out this year. It came out August 27, 2025. So it's not even that old. But I freaking love this game. I really do like this game. My game of the year. I enjoyed finding a farming simulator that I liked, that I enjoyed, that I could lock in for. I put on a podcast, I put on a YouTube video, I put on something, and I just fucking play. I enjoy myself. Unlike Stardew Valley, where sometimes I am shivering and shaking my boots. And I also don't feel as needing to go on like a Wikipedia page. Like Story Seasons, I did a little bit, but not that much. Like very minimally. I will say I played a lot of this game, and I wanted to try an older Harvest Moon, but still not a remaster. I think it was when they ported it to Steam. I tried Story of Seasons, another one. I didn't love it. I had it crash on me like 3 times, probably on me. I've had some issues with my computer recently. But I really did enjoy Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. I really did. I'm gonna keep playing it, and I am at a point where I feel like I could quit and be happy. Like, if you spent $60 on a game and got 60 hours out of it, that's $1 per hour, which I think is a really good way to look at it. But also, it's important to look at games that even if they're only 60, but you get 200 hours worth of it. Sometimes a game should not be 200 hours, right? Like sometimes a game needs to respect your time and be like, you do not need to be that long. So I do feel happy that I could quit playing Story of Seasons of Grand Bazaar at any moment, but right now I am really enjoying it. That's all the games I have for my list. I'm sure I can move some games around and be like, oh, you should go here, maybe you should go here. But I am really happy with where everything is at right now. I would maybe move Tetris Effect down. Maybe if I keep looking at this, I'm just gonna feel weird. I'm happy enough with this. But yeah, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar was like game of the year, was also my sleeper hit of the year. If that wasn't my sleeper hit of the year, the Murder Hotel was, or Coral Island. Like I was not expecting these two games. Like truly, these two games really did. Like these 4 games were like, I think like the game. Like I can't put these at S tier because I don't think they were quality of the game I'm looking for, and I enjoyed as much. But like really good, like just really good games that I really did enjoy. So thank you for watching this. Yeah, these are my games of the year. If you want to go back, I think I've done this since 2022 or 2023, I'm pretty sure. I just like to get my feelings out there in case anybody cares. I also know sometimes people like to hear my opinion, and some people don't like to hear my voice. So yeah, I'm a little kitty girl. Let me try that one more time. Yeah, I'm a little kitty girl. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little kitty girl. I don't have anything funny to say. Mwah.